any of my PlayStations ever, really, unless they were
Mhm.
like super old and I just hadn't turned them on in like a century. You know what I
Ever,
mean? Like,
right? Like they would go
yeah,
on forever. They still work today, probably, right? The ones you have still work
yeah.
today.
Like I'm pretty sure my PS1 still works, and I still got the little the hijack box with the little spring. I still have those, so I could probably put a burnt disc in and still be able to play it. Like
Yeah, yeah,
it's,
yeah,
it's still
yeah. I
pretty
remember the
good, you
burnt
know?
disc. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that too. The
yeah.
burnt
And then
disc.
my
That's crazy.
PS4, that one works fine and whatnot. And then I think I can still probably turn on. I could probably just charge this up and this would still work good. You know what I'm saying?
Is
I
that the
probably wouldn't
Vita?
have any issue
That's a
with that.
Vita,
Yeah,
right?
that's a big.
Yeah, yeah,
I had the PSP somewhere. I don't know what happened to
yeah.
that
You had
thing.
that. You
This
had that
somewhere.
too. I remember getting that. Yeah, that was a big deal for
Yeah,
sure.
man. But what is good, everybody? I'm your co-host, Godly Sovereign, and of course, I got my boy Sir Knight with me. How's it going, man?
It's good. It's good. Doing good, man. Just chilling, getting ready to get my PlayStation back, as I was telling you. That's why we were talking
Yeah.
about PlayStation. I sent it in for repair. Dude, I don't know, man, if it was something really easy to repair, but they're sending
Uh-huh.
that thing back quick. It's like I had to pay $200
Wait,
too.
how long ago did you send that shit?
Shoot. Probably like I sent it probably like a week and a half ago. Probably like
Okay.
a week and a half ago I sent it, and now I'm getting
Yeah.
it back Saturday. So like not even 2 weeks. It says like a
Mm.
20 to 30-day turnaround, but it wasn't for me. It was like a 10-day turnaround for me. So it's like I
Well,
don't
that's
know if
good.
like mine was super easy to fix.
Or they
I don't
was
know.
just
I
like
never
they just
know.
looked at it and was like, "Ain't nothing wrong with this shit."
Dude, no, that's not
Close
true.
the
I
box
better
back
not get
up
it
and send
back.
it back.
I better not get it back and nothing's fixed. Because that cost me two
Yeah.
hundred bucks, dude. Like it was a lot of money to get
What
that thing
was
sent in. It
what
was
would
out of
suck is if
warranty.
you Yeah, what would suck is if you sent it and you had accidentally left the game in there, and then when you sent it back, they took it out, and you didn't have that game anymore. That would really suck, man.
Dude,
They
like
just rob you of your game.
dude, man, I don't know, dude. All I know is like $200 is a ripoff. It's only a 1 year warranty. Our PS5 only had a 1 year freaking warranty, dude.
That's crazy. I
That's
mean,
it.
considering like the issues that there could possibly be, you know, it seems like it would be at least like a 2 year. Like you would think you get like
Dude,
a
I
2 year.
thought 2 year for sure, and we would have made it just in time because it's right now exactly 2 years coming
Yeah.
up. So I was like, okay, I made it just in time, but nope, 1 freaking year, dude. That's like nothing at all. So that
So
was a
you're
really
saying because of the 1 year warranty, you had to pay $200 for them to fix your PlayStation?
yeah.
Damn. Did you ever
It's like
think
a
about
flat
checking
fee
out like
though.
third
It's
party?
like a flat. I did, but they were all expensive.
Oh,
Like
okay.
everyone
All
was
right.
charging like a couple $100. So I was like, well, if I'm gonna pay $200, I might as well send it directly to Sony, and like,
Yeah.
they're not gonna do nothing to, they know what they built it or whatever. So I just decided to go that route.
Mm-hmm.
But everywhere I looked for any PlayStation 5 repair was like super expensive, and I was like,
Yeah.
well, it's a lot cheaper than buying a whole new, even though it's still
Yeah.
$200. It's better than buying a
Yeah.
whole new one. So I was like, I'll just
Right.
send it in to get repaired. But like I said, man, like you were saying, I've never had an issue with like any console, like not just PlayStation, like any console, until
Yeah.
I got this X, which was dead on arrival. Which you all remember
Yeah.
that story. It was dead on
Yeah. I
arrival.
remember, dude. Because you got that like before me and Mark, right?
Yeah, I
Didn't you
got
get
it on
yours
Black
before both of
Friday.
us?
Yeah, I got it
Yeah.
on like
And
Black
that
Friday
shit
or something
was
like that.
done.
Dead on
Damn.
arrival. But they gave me a new one. It's been wonderful ever since. My
Yeah.
S had no problems. And then I've never had a problem with any PlayStation. I'd have no problem with no Xbox either. The original Xbox, the fat one,
Yeah.
Xbox
Remember they had
360,
the
no
ring of death
problem.
going
Yeah,
on the 360?
I'd never hit for me. Like none
And
of
there
that ever
wasn't
hit.
there like another like button of death or something like that, a red button of death on the OG Xbox, the
Hit
big
that
fat
on
black one.
that one. It's always some
I thought there
Xbox
was
button of
something.
death, dude. Yeah, some ring of death or something
Yeah,
on the Xboxes, dude.
yeah, but
But
yeah, I mean, I've been pretty lucky too. I mean, down from like Nintendos to Game Boys
yeah,
to
Nintendo's
the
too.
Sega.
Yeah,
The Sega Nomad, you know what I'm saying? The Sega Genesis, the Dreamcast, like all of those. I've never, the GameCube. I've never once had a problem with any of my consoles. I almost like they're almost like perfect items when you buy them. You think like, oh, nothing's gonna go wrong with this. You know,
I know,
like
I
when you
know.
buy a TV, like there's nothing that's gonna go wrong with this TV
Yeah,
that
I've
we
never had a
get.
problem with television ever. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I would definitely be like, damn, why didn't I just get the extended warranty that Best Buy was trying to sell me when I tried to buy it
It's
or
never
Target
worth it.
or something? Yeah, it's never worth it. But I tell you what, man, more times than none, I've had like a TV just drop on me or something like that, and it's at the ass end, like it just cleared the freaking warranty time. And it's
Um,
like something goes wrong with my TV
that's funny.
or something
I've
like
never
that.
had
I've
any
always had
TV
issues like
problems,
that.
dude. That's
Yeah, I
funny.
had my fridge had a compressor go out, and it had just passed the warranty for the actual, the unit or whatever, that the manufacturer's warranty or whatever that they give. But
Mm-hmm.
luckily, they had an extended warranty through uh Costco, where I bought the fridge at, like because I used the Costco credit card.
Right.
So the credit card itself gave you an extended warranty on it that I did not know about
Dude,
until
that's
I was
cool.
trying to
See, the
figure out
re-
what was going
see,
on with my shit.
the reason why I think like I never do it is because like think about all the TVs you've bought, all the fridges, all the PlayStations, all the
That's a
consoles.
lot of money,
If you
dude. And
bought
it
a
ain't like
warranty every
$10 or
time,
$20.
if you buy a warranty every single time, dude, like you're not going to get access to that warranty on almost none of them. Like, so if I
Yeah,
bought a warranty every time and this time around I did on my PS5, then it's like, okay, finally I get to cash in. But
yeah.
I would have spent more than well over $200 in warranties than what I just
Well,
spent right now to fix it. Right. So
I
it's
mean,
like, that's why warranties never work out.
for a TV, it'd be like an extra $300, $400,
It's a
and it's
lot
like,
of
hey,
money, dude.
I'm already
I
getting a
know.
$1,600 TV. Why are you trying to tack on an extra four? Like,
I know.
come on.
Exactly. That's why I always say no. It's like, dude, come on, man. These guys built these things to last, or they wouldn't have a very good quality business. If your
Yeah,
TVs are breaking, you need a warranty for every TV. I would never buy that TV. Like if there
no.
was word on the street, like some brand was always breaking and you needed a warranty, I just wouldn't buy that
You just
television.
wouldn't buy it. Yeah, you would just be
Yeah,
like, okay,
exactly.
I'm done with that brand. Yeah, I'm not gonna get that.
That's the
I
problem
know.
with warranties.
Yeah, but I know as long as you get something from like a Walmart or
A little,
possibly like a
like
Best Buy,
extra
you
warranty
got a
credit
forever
card.
warranty. As long as they make the unit, you got a
He's
forever
so,
warranty, man.
he's so tough.
You just all you gotta do is just go to the store, buy you a new one, the same exact model, bring that home, do a little
That rotten trick.
swapperooski,
Yeah,
put it
the
back in the
rotten
box
trick.
and take
Yeah.
it's not rotten. I'm literally giving them back their subpar product. I'm giving it back and I'm swapping it out for what I was supposed to be owed. I'm owed a product that works properly for more than just a year because you use cheap components. You know what I'm saying? Like if I buy a $600 TV and then I go to Walmart and I go and grab the $3,000 TV and then try to do a swap on that, now I'm crazy. Like I'm trying to jack somebody now. But
Dude,
if
but I
I'm
know
just
it's
trying to get
crazy,
my
man. Like
product back,
we tested it, dude. Walmart takes everything
they
back,
take
man.
they take those
Everything.
Yu-Gi-Oh cards when you open
Dude,
them, man.
that was crazy, man. You it's like, why
Why
is
you
it
open
all
all of
ripped?
them?
Why'd you open all Oh man, I'll never forget. Why'd
Oh
you
man.
open all of them?
Yeah, that was funny, man.
Oh man.
But yeah, man. So like, what you been playing this week? What games you been playing?
Nothing. Just Hearthstone, bro. Like
Yeah, I'm
I
playing
wanted to
damn
sit
thing.
down and play something. I must have scrolled through the game like 30 times, man, trying to like
For which
find
one?
something to
For
play.
Game Pass or for
Game
PlayStation?
Pass
Mm.
for Xbox. Dude, my PlayStation's broke right now. So like I don't have my
Oh
PlayStation
yeah,
right
that's
now. I
right.
would be
You ain't got
playing.
it.
I probably would have played Tiny Tina's Wonderland this week had I had my PlayStation, but I don't have my PlayStation right now. So
Oh,
like
okay.
I'm just like all I got is my Xbox and my
Yeah.
computer. And so it's just like, shoot, man, like what is there to play? Like there just isn't anything to play. And like so there's like indies and like I was playing Cult of the Lamb for a long time there, which is really good. But it's like,
right?
man, I want something a little meatier. Like I wish I was like you, or I hadn't played Odyssey yet, right? Or I hadn't played Phoenix Rising or Far Cry yet.
Yeah,
Like all these great
yeah,
AAA games.
I got a
You
bunch of
got
shit in
like
the
this
stash I
buffet.
could dive into.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got like this buffet you can dive into, and I'm like playing, freaking Moonscar, this indie game. It's like not that great, So it's
I
like
tried.
I need
I
something
tried
good here.
Moonscar, bro. I couldn't do it. I did that for like maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm cool. I'm cool on it. I
I,
couldn't
I
do
I
it.
mean it was not really a recommendation. It's just that game I played, and I put it
Yeah,
in for a little while, and I played it for a bit. But there's something laggy about the controls, man. I felt like the dodge was late, the swipes
it's
were
it's
late,
it's just not.
polished enough, right? Like I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. It's just a little too subpar.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
I commend them for making a game, and then and trying to make something that's almost
It had a
feel
cool
soul
idea,
like.
right?
Yeah,
Like that opening scene of that art of the architecture or whatever, talking
yeah.
about that was cool. It was a
But
cool little world,
but I felt like
but
it was too like simplistic in a sense. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't know what the attacking and stuff. I just felt like it was just a little too
oh
basic.
yeah, the game
It didn't
wasn't as
catch my
good.
attention. Yeah.
It wasn't Dead Cells, that's for sure, right? Like I felt like it was trying to be a little bit like Dead Cells, but it just was not as good, not as smooth. I played so many hours of Dead Cells though. It's like I don't want to go back and play that some more. But once you play, you kind of want to go back because you just want to play something that's like actually really good.
Yeah, I still
So
actually want to play damn, what was that one you were like a knight, and then you had like your lineages, so every time you would
oh
die it's
yeah,
like your kids grew up. I
Rogue
forgot what that
Legacy. Yeah, Rogue
Rogue
Legacy.
Legacy, yeah, two. I wanted to play two, but I never
Yeah, I
never
put
bought
like
it. I
20
think it's
hours
only for
into that too.
PlayStation, right?
No, Xbox, only for Xbox.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. So
So
I
like
need
you can
to.
buy that on the Xbox store for like $20 or something. Like that's really good. I
You
spent a
sure
lot
it's
of
on
time
the
in
Xbox?
that too. Huh?
You sure it's on the Xbox? For some reason, I
Mm-hmm.
thought you said it was on the PlayStation.
Positive.
Hmm. Okay. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm
I
positive.
might give that one a
I just feel like that's gonna be probably a Game Pass game someday. So
yeah,
you seem to really
probably.
hold out. You hold out long. Like I'm sure I'll probably will someday come to Game Pass for you.
Yeah,
But I don't know, man. Have you played
it'll
anything?
be a good addition too when it hits. You'd be like, oh yeah, that's a good one right there.
And I'll be sitting on the sidelines again, wishing there's
See,
something to
you
play.
just gotta let some stuff go in the wind, man. You just
I
gotta let some
guess,
stuff go.
dude. I
You know?
guess.
I'm hoping for Tiny Tina's Wonderland to get
Are
on
you gonna
Game
ever
Pass.
play? You're not gonna ever buy Tokyo. What was that one on PlayStation? Tokyo Ghoul? No, it's Tokyo Ghoul. That's an anime. What's the one where you had like the hands and it was like you were doing
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
something
It
Tokyo?
was
I thought.
Ghost. It was Ghost.
Oh,
Um,
Ghostwire Tokyo.
yeah,
Ghostwire
yeah,
Tokyo.
Ghostwire. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Would
I'm
I
just
ever
gonna wait
buy
for
it?
Game Pass because that's coming to Game Pass next year. Like we
Is
all know
it?
that's coming to Game Pass. Yeah, it's a
Oh,
Bethesda
okay.
game. It's a Bethesda Works game. I'm pretty sure the
Damn,
same
is it?
guys that made.
And
I
so
think
it
it's
was one of their last contracts that they that they signed over
just like Deathloop.
before.
Just like
Okay.
Deathloop. Yeah, it was one of the last contracts they agreed to.
Yeah.
So just like Deathloop came free to Game Pass, that I
Yeah.
almost wanted to fire that up and play that through again, man. Like that game is so good.
Oh,
I
what
wish I
Deathloop?
hadn't played it. Yeah, because it's on Game Pass now. So it's
Yeah,
like, man,
I
I wish I had played that one.
yeah. If I didn't have like Assassin's Creed Odyssey
Actual
or
games you
anything like
haven't
that
played
to
before.
play,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I
know
would
you'd play that
I would
again.
have put it on at least to get it started so that I could pick Julia. I think that's her name.
Do a
Julia.
Julia run or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and just play as her against all the other people and just juice her character up. Because I already played Cole or
Yeah.
whatever. So
I
I
haven't
already, I
played
already
Julia. That's a good point. Maybe. But I know
so I would.
Scorn came out and I downloaded that, pre-installed it last night, so I'll probably play that today.
Oh,
I
it's
can give
out,
you
out.
like an idea. That came out today. So
Oh, okay.
we can talk about that next time.
Next week for sure. Yeah,
Mhm.
I had been seeing a lot of gameplay and stuff like that, so I know it was rearing up, but I didn't. I didn't pre-download it. I've been meaning to play Requiem as well. You haven't played Requiem either, have you?
That's not out yet.
It's not.
It
It's
comes out
still,
Tuesday, I
dude.
think.
They put the pre-order like almost a month ahead of time. Like
Yes,
I
dude. Yes.
pre-downloaded that like a mad
Yes.
long time ago.
I think that comes
That's
out on
crazy.
Tuesday, next Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, so
All right.
it's
So I
soon, but
guess I
it's
haven't
still
let
been for
that
a
one slip
while,
by.
dude. They put the
Yeah.
pre-download high on that one. Even that Penitence or whatever, that one you think looks kind of weird. I kind of wanted to play it.
Which one?
That one with like a storybook. You were kind of like, I liked it a lot, but
The
you were
one that
like,
looked,
I'm sure.
the one that I said looked ass or whatever. Like it just looked like it
Yeah,
wasn't fun.
yeah, yeah. But I was kind of intrigued by it.
Right.
That one was like back in July too, and that doesn't come out till November. And I pre-installed that already. And it's like that doesn't come out till next month, November. It's still pre-installed. Yeah, I don't know, man. That whole pre-install thing,
It's
like I
weird.
don't know. Is that way of just like kind of making it like a trick in your mind, like, hey, we have games here, but we really don't. But we do because look, you can pre-install. Like it's just like a little fakery, like a fake out.
Yeah, either that or it's like a test to see, like, did we do good, like putting this game on our platform, or should we have passed on this
Oh, so
game?
you're saying they can see how many people pre-download it? I
Yeah,
agree, but
before
why
they
are they putting?
before they go and make like another purchase of a game of that type of a caliber or on the same level or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, let's just test the waters, put it out here, and see if people pre-download the shit and if they're really looking forward to it. And if they are,
Yeah, but
then we'll know. Oh,
why do it so early though?
I don't know. The only other thing I could think of is that it was actually supposed to come out at a certain time, and then it got pushed back, and we just haven't been paying attention to it because we knew it was coming, and we just haven't been actually looking at it. It could be other people that have actually like been waiting for Requiem and been like, "Damn, push back again, like another 2 weeks or something like that." You know what I mean? Like they
Maybe
could
I don't
know.
know. It
You know
just
what I'm
seems
saying?
like I get you want to do pre-installs for like because it's convenient to us the user as well. Like we don't have to wait till the day it comes out. You can play it immediately. But why
Yeah.
do it like 4 months in advance unless you're just trying to like fluff your library, try to make it seem like you have more than you do? Like I can't stand that.
Yeah, but they
But
got
maybe
they
it
got
is.
a shit ton of games though. Like they got a lot of games. So like fluff, I don't feel like they do fluff anything. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I don't know though.
Like
I
for
don't know.
somebody to purchase it and they got, all the stuff off of like
It's just
Ubisoft and everything
awful
else.
early pre-install. I'm
It's
pre-installing a
dumb.
game that comes out in November in June. I
Yeah,
mean, that's retarded.
that's crazy. And it ain't even like no like AAA first party game. You know what
No,
I'm
it's just like
saying? Like it's not
an
like we're
indie
pre-ordering,
or something
we're
like that.
pre-downloading
Yeah.
Starfield or something like that. Like, nah, like this is this is Requiem. So it's not crazy like that. But I don't know.
Huh.
But yeah, man. So you didn't really get a chance to do anything but
Just
hit master level on Hearthstone, huh?
just playing Hearthstone, man. Yeah. So I
Yeah,
climbed pretty well on that, but otherwise that's all I've been playing, dude.
that's cool.
So this week I'm definitely gonna be playing some scoring though. So I'll have that to play. And then I know Requiem comes out next week. So unless like I'm really in love with scoring, then I'll probably try Requiem out and play that through.
Yeah, that'll be solid.
Yeah. But what about you, man? What you been playing?
Okay, so I'm trying to think. So I tried to play that Moonscar shit, like I said before, and
Right.
like I played it
Gave
for
it up.
like maybe 10 minutes, and I was like, nah, this ain't it. And and of course, to test it out, I just used the cloud or whatever just to play it like that. And I was just like, you know what, it's really not my cup of tea, so I'm just gonna not download it. So after that, I sat around and I was trying to figure out, like, damn, what am I gonna play, man? Like, I was just looking, I was doing like you, dude. I was looking through the list,
I know.
and I was like, it's just a lot of bullshit out here right now. It's nothing that's like really good catching my eye. So I was
Nothing
just
popping
like,
off the page, It's like
yeah.
looking
So
for
I
something.
was just like, because I mean, for like the last couple of months, it's literally been like at least one indie that just got released that was like, oh, like I want to play that. I'll play that, or at least looked interesting enough that I would play it. You know what I mean? But yeah, no luck with this one. So I was like, all right, let me go ahead and look at those Assassin's Creeds again. And I looked and I was like, it got a choice between Origins and Odyssey. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just do Odyssey, man. I'm gonna just, play it, and then I'll wait. And if something comes along or whatever, like Assassin's Creed is just a long fucking game. So you just play it when you want at your leisure.
Yeah.
So, I'll hop on it. So, of course, Scorn's out now, so I'm definitely gonna download that, and that'll be something that I check out, when I'm not playing Naraka or whatever.
Yeah, I
But
saw you on Naraka, man.
yeah, yeah,
I was,
yeah.
we were on last
I was
night,
on
I
it,
think.
right?
Yeah, something like that.
I think I might have got on it real
Or like
quick
yesterday
just to
afternoon or something.
just to play something real quick, and then to like
Naraka,
log in or
dude.
whatever.
Naraka.
That's about it.
You're
Yeah,
like at your game now.
yeah, man. So I was actually playing it like right before the pod. We had just won a
Okay, we're
match,
getting
so
some
I was
Naraka
like, all
time
right, yeah,
in.
I gotta dip.
That's funny, dude.
Yeah, man,
Anyways,
I want you to play, man. I gotta get you to play the damn game with me because every time I
yeah.
hit you up, you ignore my shit. You ignore my text. Like, man, I'm
I'm
not
usually
doing that
doing
shit.
something, man. Come on.
Yeah, I gotta get your ass when you're not doing something and figure out. Like, I try to, if I see you on, I'll try to shoot you a message or whatever. But most of the time when I'm on, you're not really on. But
I know, but
yeah,
like
man,
late at night or you're sleeping or whatever.
yeah. But
So
yeah,
what did you
so
play? Odyssey.
yeah, basically just Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I've gotten past the first like initial island.
Island.
I forgot what it's called, Heptaphilia, or some
Mm-hmm.
shit like that. But
Cleaned it out.
yeah, I pretty much did like everything in there, and I moved on to the boat. So I was kind of like low key lost. I don't know when you played if you did like the shit where like they'll just guide you everywhere, like the guided one, or if you did the one where you just gotta like find it yourself.
Oh, was it like a
But
story choice options?
so like you know how they'll give you like what type of difficulty do you want? Do you want like easy,
Right.
medium, and whatever? So I picked like the normal one, whatever they recommend the game should be played at,
Right.
like what the developers made the game. That's how we
Right.
always play it
Right. Right.
initially. So I did that, and then they have like two different ones. They have like a guided one where like everything pops up on the HUD and it shows you where it's at so that you can just go to it. So it's not like you have to pay attention. You just
Guided.
go to
I
the
did
next
guided, man.
item on the map. Yeah. So I
Yeah, I
did the
did
other
guided,
one
bro.
under it that they said they
Crazy.
recommended
Dummy.
how it's supposed to be played. No, that's how they recommend. They said recommend playing it this way for like immersion
Huh.
or whatever. So this one you have to like look at the thing and then it says, oh, like southwest from this area. So I literally have to look at the fucking map. I gotta
Dude,
pull
I
the
don't
map
remember
up
doing any of
and
that,
then I
dude.
have to like look, see where it's at, and then go, okay, there's a question mark here. It's probably there. So then I'll go there. And 9 times out of 10, it's the area, or I end up running into some other shit that I shouldn't have. Like I think that first dude that you have to fight, the one that's hunting you or whatever at the Talos or something like that. Like I
Yeah.
was doing a quest for another lady by the lumber mill yard or whatever, the lumber yard. So I go to the lumber yard and I try to scope out and investigate the scene. And as I'm investigating the scene, I see this like red helmet, Spartan helmet or whatever, walking down the street. So I'm like, what the hell is
Yeah, they
that?
just
So
pop up, dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I just go over to him. I start fighting him and shit, and then he's like, he's like whipping my ass. I'm like, oh shit, like I forgot, like this is the dude, you know what I mean? And he's a 5 and I'm a 3. But I was like, I think I can handle him, you know what I mean? So I had some
Right.
unspent points. So I put a spent point in the poison, and so I laced my swords with poison and I was hitting them, and and
Dude,
I
poison
died
was my
once.
jam, dude.
Yeah, I died
I
once
had like
just
a
because
poison. I
I
had like a
hadn't played it.
poison legendary set. I remember I
Oh,
collected like a
really?
poison legendary set. Yeah, it was like
Dude,
sick, dude.
it's pretty wicked, man. That poison
Yeah.
gets those guys down a lot, and then because you're able to like do those spin attacks with your swords and stuff like that, you're able to hit like 3 or 4 guys, tag them with poison. You know what I mean? And just keep working on the dude and stuff. So yeah, I definitely want to get my poison stats up. I feel like that one's gonna be really nice to work with. That and then the
Dude, that was
bows.
fun.
I'll need my
Yeah.
bows up too.
I was so addicted, man, to finding those red Spartan helmets, dude. Like all those enemies, they all drop like dope gear, dope loot.
Yeah.
So much fun, man.
So my question is, can you recruit those guys to your team? Like once you have the boat and all that stuff, and you're able to recruit, can you recruit those dudes?
I
Because
don't
like
think so. I don't think it's
there's a
like
skill where you can like Spartan kick the shit out of them, and then they're like incapacitated for a minute, and then you can just like recruit them or whatever.
no, I
But
don't
I
think
don't
you
know if it
can.
works for those dudes or if you
I don't
have
think
to
it
kill
works
those
for
guys.
those dudes. I don't remember. I honestly don't recall how I recruited.
Okay.
I don't think it's like Shadows of Mordor, right, where you can recruit the
Yeah, just
elites.
anybody, any orc.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think you can do that. But I don't know. I just was like super addicted to hunting them down. So like I'd always pull the map up, and I'd always be like going to the next one, and like just finding them, and then
Right.
taking that loot off their body. It was like super fun. I don't know. I absolutely loved Odyssey so much, dude. So
Yeah.
I think you'll see. Maybe you already see. Like it's like, in my opinion, like substantially better than Valhalla.
No, it's pretty
Like I
fun.
think it's like way
I'm
better than Valhalla.
I'm enjoying it right now. It's just gonna be like the longevity of my
Right.
enjoyment,
It's a
and
long game. Yeah.
when it starts to get
I
tiring.
loved it to the end. I played it all. I loved it to the very end.
Oh, so you
Like even
finished that
every, I finished all the way. Yeah, I finished it
one?
all the
Okay.
way. Yeah,
All right.
yeah, yeah. That shows you how much I like it, because sometimes I don't even finish all the
Yeah,
Odyssey,
those big
Assassin's
games like
Creed.
that.
Yeah,
No.
like I
Yeah.
didn't finish Far Cry 6, but I finished Far Cry 5. So like when I
Okay.
actually finish it, like I really liked it. It's got to be a really good game for me to like.
Sometimes I finish it just to see how it ended, and just
Yeah,
to
see, I
see.
don't really do that. I don't do that. Like
Yeah,
I know you
there's
do that
others,
more than I
like
do.
Moonscrape, Moonscar, or whatever. I just
That you
I
won't
won't
even
even like
touch
go
again.
too much
Right,
time in it.
right,
Yeah,
right,
but
right.
but
But if
yeah,
I actually
so
played through the end, then I really, really liked it.
yeah, so I ended up I got my boat, and then I went to go to Marigrees or something like that. But I effed up and I wasn't paying attention and I couldn't see it, like the location of it.
Mhm.
So I was just like going into this wide area or whatever in my boat, the this like river stream or whatever,
Right.
just to see something. And then I came across a dock, so I was like, "Oh well, I'll dock over here." And I ended up going into an area that had like mad skulls. So like, I went to try to go to a Zeus temple, and I tried to press some of the guys over there, and I went to go and assassinate a dude. And then I assassinated him. I nicked him for like a scooch of health, and he turned around and started like assaulting me. So I was like, "Oh shit, I should not be over here." I was like, "Damn." Yeah, I was just like,
You did
"Damn,
your
dude,
you
I
did your
barely
most
took any
powerful
health from him."
attack. You did your most powerful attack, and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
just nicked him.
assassinations at like 25% and stuff, and I
That's
did
funny,
nothing to him.
dude.
So I was
That's
like, "Damn!"
hilarious,
I
dude.
ran, I ran around the building,
You
climbed up on the
scooched
rooftop,
him.
and then I just looked at him for a minute, and I was like, "Damn!" Even if I shoot them with arrows, I'm not doing shit to them. So I was like,
Nah, dude,
"Obviously,
you
I'm
gotta
not
get
supposed
out
to
of there,
be here."
man.
Yeah,
Get
so I
out of
looked on
there.
the map real quick, and I was like, "Oh shit, 45." So I'm like, "Man, I should not be here." So, so I
That's
just
too
got it.
funny,
I
man.
just went and left, man. I just got out of there. And then I looked back at the map and it had finally opened up once I got to a dock. It opened up that river part so you could see all of the different, areas of
Right.
the spaces, the territories or whatever. And I found where I needed to go to. So I'm on my way over there now, but it does give you a little bit of that Black Flag feel,
Totally.
except they're
Totally.
using like Roman song, Roman sea shanties or whatever, but
Right. But it's a
yeah,
straight copy. Like
yeah,
even the
yeah,
combat and like the forts and the ships is all straight copy, yeah. Which I'm totally I was like pumped about,
yeah,
because
yeah. I'm always up
I
for some
love
Black
Black
Flag.
Flag so much. Because
Yeah.
after Black Flag, they brought out Origins. So I was like really disappointed because I really wanted to play another Black Flag. So that's why I was like super pumped about Odyssey. And Odyssey did not fail. Like it delivered exactly what I wanted. Like exactly what I wanted from the next Assassin's Creed game. So
Yeah.
such a fun game, man. Like I really enjoyed my time with it. So I'm sure you'll really like it. It's cool you got to play it for free.
Yeah,
So
good old Game
you
Pass, man.
waited out, man. You waited out.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, man, so we got a few topics to talk about today. Most of it is like kind of around like the general same thing. We got some news, different sections of news about Xbox acquisition of Activision and Blizzard, and what that entails for the troubles that they're going through, and then Sony trying to make some troubles or whatnot. And then also one other topic, which was, what was it? What do we have? Oh, Elden Ring DLC, man. I'm super stoked for that. So let's go ahead and start off with the first topic. And while we talk about this, we got some unpacking to do. So let's unpack some of these topics, huh?
Let's do
So
it, man.
The first topic that we wanted to do was the UK regulators details concerns over Microsoft's proposed acquisitions of Activision and Blizzard. So introduce me to that topic. Introduce us to that topic, right?
Yeah, so basically, Microsoft, they're going through all the legal ramifications for acquiring Activision. And
Right.
so they're going through basically every country's legal system. And when they went through Brazil's legal system, they had to reveal their earnings in Game Pass. And of course, Game Pass is a big part of this acquisition because should they acquire Activision Blizzard, they're going to put Call of Duty and all the Blizzard games for free on Game Pass.
Right.
And so it's a big, big part of how impactful it will be on the industry, right? So acquiring Activision Blizzard is going to be very impactful because if they put it on Game Pass, it's going to have a major impact on other competitors, right? So what was
Mm-hmm.
cool was that they actually, because it was legal, they actually had to reveal the actual money, the actual earnings, right? And
Right.
so right now, what we found out was that in 2022, Game Pass generated $2.9 billion. Sorry, in 2021, $2.9 billion.
Mm-hmm.
And if you see the chart that I have on the screen, it shows Xbox's total revenue, and then it shows the games and services revenue. And games and services basically means, like the games they sell. I think it's like digital games they sell,
Right.
and then the Game Pass monthly subscription. And so games and services is like 80% of their
Most
total,
of their most of their
almost
money.
everything.
Yeah.
Hardware is next to nothing. But I think what's super awesome though about like the Game Pass side of things, where games
Mm-hmm.
and services, games can be like physical or digital. So you
Yeah.
lose a little bit of money on a physical sell, right? Because if you sell a game physically, you have to pay for the manufacturing of that game and the shipping of that game.
Right. 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 And the
Where
shelving
Game
and all that
Pass
stuff. Yeah.
is just like a cha-ching, cha-ching, like it's a freaking subscription service, right? So
Yeah.
they can kind of just take that money they make from Game Pass and kind of spend it how they want. They can
Yeah.
spend it on adding new people, hiring new people. They can spend it on acquiring new games, or they can
Mm-hmm.
just pocket it, Where like on hardware and other things, like you have to pay for the hardware, right? So that revenue number isn't really legitimate, right? Like because you have to take into account the amount of money it takes to produce the hardware and then produce the games. Where
Right.
Game Pass is like profit, right? So like that's a drop in the barrel of where they're going to be, right? And so Game Pass at 2.9, almost $3 billion in 1 year is just a drop in the barrel where they're going to be in a few years if they acquire Activision. So that's what's like
Yeah.
super
I
revealing to
mean,
me about this.
what's also interesting too is that Game Pass is only 2.9 when you have the others at 9.6. So it's like they're still doing numbers with their sales and other stuff. Like the Game Pass hasn't even gotten to where they really want it to yet, where like
Right.
everybody's just going through Game Pass. So I mean that probably shows like a good a good indicator right there, right? Because I'm sure they're showing this to say like, hey, just because we put it on Game Pass doesn't mean that it's like an end all that nobody's gonna buy the game anymore as a regular copy, physical or digital, for themselves. Like we're just providing a service and we're giving it to people, for this subscription, but we don't have that many people
Right.
into the subscription like that to make a huge difference. Like what you would think, where we're monopolizing a market because of the convenience of having it on Game Pass or whatnot. That shows me that there's still a lot of money out there for all of the other consoles to have it. Have a physical copy, regardless if it's on.
Yeah, this is
Game
not
Pass.
cornering the market by any means, right? Like
No.
this isn't like some great revenue they're making from Game Pass that's like crushing the competition. I wish we
Yeah,
could see freaking Sony's numbers like
I
this,
know, right?
right?
But Sony doesn't
Because
have anything on theirs. Theirs is dead right now. Probably because it's
dude,
for the year, for last year, and they just did something this year. So
yeah, I bet you PlayStation Plus makes more than that. Just PlayStation Plus alone, right? Like makes more than what Game Pass is currently making, right?
maybe. I mean, because they pretty much like almost every user would to an extent. I mean, not everyone, but yeah. I don't know, man. It's a big eye opener. You know what I mean? Because you would think like when you hear like like freaking a Microsoft taking over Activision and Blizzard, yeah, like that might be Dundada. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I doubt that 9.6 are all COD players. So I doubt they're just gonna like stop buying the game anymore and then go straight to Game Pass, and those numbers will flip. But that'd be interesting. I would like to see exactly what these numbers look like next year, after the acquisition,
Dude, I
and
know.
COD starting to
That's
come
the
on.
thing. That's the thing, right? Like we're probably not going to get those numbers because there's not going to be like a
Yeah, there's not gonna be
transparent
a
legal
reason for them
system.
to show it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to share it. But it's like, but I do think like this makes Sony's case really hard, right? When you see numbers like this and you're like, okay, that's just kind of like a sliver of their total revenue. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how can you possibly argue that this is going to ruin the industry? Right? Like,
Yeah.
it's very difficult to, because there's no possible way Sony's doing worse than this, right? So you're just guessing that if they acquire Activision, that's going to all of a sudden shoot them above and beyond everyone else. But like, it's really, really hard, man, to make that case when you see these numbers.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. So
clearly
I
all the
mean,
money is in games right now, right? They're still making tons of money selling games. Like,
for
look at
sure,
that.
man.
Look at the other there. That's like almost 10 billion.
I mean,
The other is almost $10 billion.
yeah. I mean, it's like it's almost triple of what the hardware revenue is making right now, and the Game Pass revenue is almost as much as what the hardware revenue has made. So it's like with every sale of a console, they've managed to put a Game Pass into their hands. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Well, because I
pretty,
mean,
pretty
like
man.
I loved that one deal they did. You did it right, where you got your subscription like
Three
based
months
on
for a
your
buck.
yeah, like
Yeah,
or even when you bought your console, like they gave you a subscription option,
yeah, they gave it
for
to
your
you, but
console.
you paid it. You
Um,
paid full price for it though. You paid 2 years.
eventually, right? Yeah, you paid
Yeah,
full price for it,
yeah.
but
It'd have been nice
yeah,
if they had just gave you a little discount for buying the shit in the locked in contract for 2 years, but it is
right.
what it is. I'm just like I was kind of like, damn, they can't give no discount out this bitch. Like that's crazy, but you know what I mean. It was what it was. I didn't want to drop a whole nother $500 or whatever on a console at once. So I
Right.
just went for the every month plan. And then and I paid chunks to it to pay it off. So like I'm already done on it or whatever. I was done probably in like March or something like that, paying it off.
Right.
But
Yeah, you're done. Yeah, you're done with it now. But
yeah.
you kept your subscription, your Game Pass subscription, obviously.
Yeah,
Right.
you get that locked in for 2 years. That's locked in
Yeah.
with the plan. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the 2 years will come up, I think in December. I think it'll be up or something like that. So I'll have to see. But yeah, man. So moving from this story to the other part of the story or whatnot, because they've had to go through all these different hoops, with this acquisition. The Competition and Markets Authority was the next one that they had to compete against, and this one's in UK. So they
Yeah.
they're like, this is basically like the last key component, the gatekeepers to keep this merger from happening, and they've already had it stop once. So they're having to prove that this won't be a big deal like they think it is, and I think most of it is because of Sony, right? And they're putting a huge fight against this, trying to keep it from going through.
Yeah. So like UK is going to be a big one, right? That's a big domino, right? Like if UK falls and they allow the merger, then you're going to pretty much see like every other country probably just follow suit. And I mean,
Yeah.
America's going to follow suit easy, but UK is like
Mhm.
another bigger one, right? Like it's another big market. And PlayStation's really big in UK. That's like the number one selling console in UK.
It
Just
was
like
number one selling everywhere, damn.
Yeah, well, it's still it competes. Xbox competes with PlayStation in America. Like
Hmm.
some months it's Xbox, some months it's PlayStation. But
Yeah.
like in UK, it's like only PlayStations, right? Or it's like PlayStation is like the biggest one, just like Japan. Like so, it's not like Japan where like almost no Xboxes are selling. It's almost all like PlayStations in Japan. But in UK, it's like PlayStation, right?
Hmm.
So if PlayStation if Xbox can get this acquisition through the UK regulation authorities, then you're gonna
Yeah.
see like uh, a big shift and like everyone will just kind of like follow suit. So it was interesting though because really a lot of what the UK was saying when it came to like this issue was basically Sony. I felt like they were shilling for Sony, dude. Like if you look at what they say up here, so this is the impact on PlayStation and other
Hmm.
rivals, but it's almost all PlayStation here. The UK authorities say there is a realistic prospect of a substantial lessening of competition in gaming consoles, multi-game subscription services, and cloud gaming services. Like if this goes through, a realistic prospect of substantial lessening. Like where are they getting that from? That sounds like a Sony talking point, dude.
Yeah. So it's kind of. I feel like it's not it's definitely not correct, right? Because when you compare all of the things that Game Pass offers compared to Sony, compared to Nintendo, compared to um Nvidia, Amazon, like nobody already competes with what Game Pass offers. You know what I mean? They have way more. They just have too
Right.
many games, and Sony has like these crazy tiers or whatever where like Game Pass doesn't really have a tier per se. It's
Right.
literally just, do you want Game Pass for PC? Do you want it for console? Or do you want it for both? Like that's all it is. If you got Game Pass, you got Game Pass. There's no tier. And
Right.
freaking Sony has a tier where it's like, oh, if you got the basic bitch tier, then you're just gonna get a couple of the basic ass games. But anything worth any type of a weight, that would be on the extra. And then if you want old shit, you go to the essentials, which is still fucking stupid. I don't get that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But um nevertheless, like they just don't compete. Like if PlayStation gave me access to everything, then that'd be something totally different. But they don't. I have to get that specific tier for it. You know what I mean? So those don't compete. And then the online stuff for Nintendo, I mean, I guess that's competing in a sense, but it's literally for old shit. Like, Nintendo Online, all they do is offer you the old stuff. So they just give you the nostalgia. If you want nostalgia packed up in a 16-bit box, they got it for you. But and then Amazon only like one game. So they're not competing with shit. You know what I mean?
I know.
Like
That's why it
Luna
felt like a
Luna
shilling
dead.
show.
Yeah,
Like
Luna's
only
dead. That
Sony,
don't
like
fit.
only Sony. This really only impacts Sony, right? Yeah,
Yeah, and
Stadia was just dead, just killed. Like
right.
Stadia is literally gone. So
And even in
yeah,
Nvidia, I think Nvidia was like a shill for Game Pass, wasn't it? Wasn't like Nvidia showing their little the Nvidia what was it, their handheld or whatever? Weren't they just talking about Game Pass being on it and shit a lot?
yeah, absolutely.
So it's
But
like, okay, what
it's
are they selling then? They're
why
not giving anything in the
why do
streaming
you
service.
shield for the current leader in the market? Right?
I,
Like Sony is top dog. Microsoft is playing catch up. Right? You know what I mean? Like if you like we've seen the Sony on months ago. I showed you the revenue, and it was like Sony was like a huge amount of money, and then it was like Microsoft and Nintendo were like second and third, and like they were less than Sony combined, and then like fourth was like Tencent or something like that. You remember that list?
yeah,
Like
yeah, I remember.
Sony is in the lead, and it's not even close. So like, why would there be any market concerns here when the number one player in that market is creaming this guy trying to acquire? Activision, this would just
I
be
don't
like a balance of a market, not like a ruining the market. This would be like a balance of the
right.
market.
I don't know, man. The only thing I can think of is that this is like a foreshadowing of something that they have not wanted to release. Like maybe the fact that, Call of Duty is available on all platforms, but they have exclusive deals to get like content early or certain maps only on their system is like a showing that Call of Duty is actually really important to Sony's sales more than we think. Like I don't know exactly. Like I've never seen a breakdown of like how many units are sold on a PlayStation compared to like an Xbox or whatnot. But maybe it's just that detrimental that they figure that if people had the option to, they would not, they would not buy it on their system anymore, and therefore they would lose money or whatever. But I feel like it's just like I feel like that, Sony had to pay something, to get like some type of a deal with COD. They had to pay money, so it did be less money
Right.
that they had to pay for that,
I don't see how it's any different. Like, how come you're allowed to buy exclusivity like that, but
right?
you can't buy it, like any other way? Like, that's bizarre to me.
Yeah, I
You know?
think I think at the end of the day, it's just one of those things where, certain companies just they're just gonna try to deny. You know what I mean? They're gonna try to stop stuff. It's just like remember like maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. This was like way before COVID or whatever. When Chris Paul had an opportunity to join the Lakers, but somebody had vetoed that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like they
Yeah,
totally X'd
they're too
out.
afraid. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like that where people just assume the worst. You don't even know how well Paul Will is going to mash up with the rest of the Lakers that are on that team, and that whether they're able to do the job. I mean, we've already seen that,
Right.
adding like AD and and some of these other guys still doesn't quite do it. You know what I mean? They might get it once, but it's not like a guarantee. You know what I mean? There's got to be certain factors that click. So, maybe they're just thinking like, oh shoot, a big, all-star player like Call of Duty going straight to the Game Pass team, the Xbox team, that's going to be curtains for us. but you just don't know. You don't know how much people will even care. That's a whole, $300 at minimum system that you got to put it on.
Right.
Or if you got an old Xbox or whatever, that's like 200, 250 maybe. You know what I mean? You got to buy a new system just to get that, and then the subscription service that you got to pay monthly, and it's hefty for to play it for that. Or you just buy the game for $60 on your current console that you already got. You know what I mean? The money's not really gonna add up. It's only gonna really change or affect people's decision for people who already have Xboxes like you or I. They're like,
Right.
oh, I won't buy it for my PlayStation because I got Xbox Game Pass, so I'm gonna just get it on that. Or I got an Xbox, so let me just get Game Pass, for a
Well, I
couple
mean,
of months.
and even if it does, like, not everyone is going to switch over because you'd have to buy a whole new console. Like, if you have a PlayStation, then you're probably going to stick with your PlayStation. But
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft will, of course, they're going to get a few people. Absolutely. But, like, what's wrong
Yeah,
with that? They're trying to compete. Like, right now, they're being crushed by Sony, kind of. Right? So, like, they're trying to compete.
they're definitely under Sony's thumb for sure. But
Right. Like,
because of how big their company is and the revenue that they're getting and that they use for Xbox, Xbox's side, like Microsoft ain't really hurting or tripping off of what Sony does. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely pressure and whatnot. But I feel like Sony's just like overreacting to this. And all these other companies are. I really don't think it's that
yeah,
bad. Now,
absolutely. Dude.
now if all of a sudden, I mean, like technically, like Xbox got a great roster, right? With like doing the deal with Ubisoft, for Ubisoft Plus, and then having Activision and Blizzard, purchasing Bethesda and everything that's under that shell, which is a lot of shit. They would have to purchase something like crazy big. Like, what's another one that they would have to purchase where you'd have to be like, okay, all right, we're not doing this. Cut it out. Like, well, you can't buy this one too. I'm trying
Right.
to I'm
That's a
trying to
good.
think
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another one that's out there that if they were to purchase
What,
it, it'd
like
be like
Square Enix? Is that big enough? Is Square Enix big enough? I mean, I don't know.
Square
I
Enix
don't
is
think so,
pretty huge,
right?
but I mean they put
Oh,
all of their games on Game Pass
Ubi,
already.
Ubisoft.
But they technically got that with Ubisoft Plus, which is a way better deal than Ubisoft whatever that PlayStation has. Remember? We
I don't
looked at
know.
the differences, and Ubisoft Plus was like way better. It gave you access to like newer games
It
when the
is, but
other
they
one
don't give
didn't.
you like the day ones though.
No, no,
On
no, they don't give you
on
the day
Ubi,
ones. Yeah, but I'm
they
trying
don't
to
give
think
you
of
day
like
ones. So I just
yeah,
think like if you had Ubi, imagine if Microsoft got Ubisoft and they were launching every new game day one, date and date on Game Pass,
yeah, that'd be
and
done.
you had Activision, and you
Yeah,
had Microsoft game. Now
yeah,
Sony's
that's a lot.
sweating, dude. Now you're like, shoot, this may right, like this may not
Yeah.
work.
This might be a little trouble. Yeah. Yeah. They just have too many
I can
heavy hitters
understand
on there.
Sony's fear then. Then I can start understanding Sony's fear. But just adding Activision, like, I think like you're right. Like I think a lot of people are just gonna keep their PlayStation. And you can see in this article, Microsoft literally says in this article that they're gonna allow Call of Duty to stay on PlayStation.
Yeah.
So really, the only concern here is Game Pass, which is why I like showing the UK, I mean the Brazil one, with
Right.
what they make on Game Pass, because really all this is going to be impacting is Game Pass. So
Yeah.
what's wrong with Microsoft trying to bolster up their one product that seems to be a little better than Sony? They don't make better games than Sony. They don't
Yeah.
make better hardware than Sony. They don't make a better controller. They don't make a better anything than Sony, other than Game Pass. That's the one thing they offer that's better. It's the one reason why I like my Xbox. If it didn't have Game Pass, dude, you and I would not be playing it, right?
Nah.
We'd be playing our PlayStation
I
exclusive.
would I wouldn't have gotten the Xbox in the first place because it wouldn't have been necessary for me to get it if it wasn't for the Game Pass thing. Like
Exactly. So
it was just like you know what I mean, it's cool to have it, you know, we could talk about it on the podcast and have more games open, but they literally have not dropped any new games, and then the games that they do drop, they're still them shit's still available for the Xbox One. So I could have saved my money, just bought me an Xbox One used for like
exactly.
$150, and I still could have played all of these games that's been out. There's not a one game that has been specifically for the Series X I have enjoyed or have yet to enjoy.
That's been like, oh, a must buy, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I mean,
So that's what
yeah.
I'm trying to say. Like, you can't really discredit Microsoft from
Hmm.
trying to bolster their one industry leading product, which is Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
And Sony's winning everywhere else. I don't see what the problem is. I would be, in my opinion, I think that would be absolutely horrendous, dude, if the UK didn't allow this. I mean, that would be horrendous to me,
I
dude.
mean,
Like,
they're already making it tough. You know what I mean? They're putting a couple of things in the way for this to be able to go through. You know, because
they are. Like,
this is
I just
the
don't
quote unquote
understand.
second phase or whatever. You know?
He seems like an absolute, that would be a travesty if they didn't allow Microsoft to acquire Activision.
Hmm.
And I thought Microsoft had good points in here. Like, Microsoft pointed out that although it doesn't share any figures, that if every single this is interesting. Microsoft doesn't share any figures, but if every single Call of Duty player on Sony consoles would switch to the Xbox, the
Hmm.
PlayStation gamer base would still remain significantly larger than Xbox's. Even if every one of them, 100%,
Yeah.
switched from Sony to Xbox, which we know that won't happen. You and I've already pointed that out. People
Yeah.
are going to keep playing on their PlayStation. They're going to gain some, that's for sure. But if every one of them switched, it wouldn't just be greater, it'd still be significantly larger.
Yeah.
That's the stupidest. I don't know how they can possibly deny this acquisition. Like,
Yeah.
it's just ridiculous. So I just thought Microsoft made really good points in rebuttal to the UK's questioning.
Yeah.
And I just felt like in the end, like they would be a travesty if they didn't let it go through. It would just feel like a shill for Sony. because
Yeah.
Sony's the industry leader. And I agree with Microsoft when they say like this isn't going to hurt competition. It's going to create. It's not going to hurt consumers. It's going to be better for consumers because it's just going to create greater competition. And we've talked about this. You and I, as consumers, have only seen the dopest things occur because of the competition between Microsoft and Sony. Like we
Right.
got, remember the price war, dude? We got these awesome consoles, the Series S, the Xbox Series X, and the Sony for $500. I know we were thinking it was going to be higher. You could get the PlayStation for $400 if you want no disc. I mean, these prices only happen because of the competition. So
Yeah,
I just
and
think
remember Xbox kept leaking shit. So Sony had to like adjust because we felt like, oh no, Sony's gonna come out with like a big fucking price on some of these things. And
oh
that,
yeah,
like, oh,
absolutely.
they adjust, So yeah, it still ended up being, I think the top console was the same price, but the lower end was a little bit higher than Xbox's lower end or whatnot. But it's kind of like it's justified, right? Because of uh hard drive space as well as graphical capabilities or whatnot.
Right.
But yeah, man,
Yeah. So
I also think that it's interesting that they said while Sony may not welcome increased competition, it has the ability to adapt and compete. And that's
exactly.
definitely correct.
Exactly.
They did this BS like PlayStation Plus subscription tier shit when they could have definitely came out with a PlayStation Game Pass or something like that. That was exactly like what Xbox is offering, except it's just the Sony alternative. They could have
Did I
done
agree
just that.
100%?
They
And you
could have
would
made
get
it
so
around the
many
same price.
subscribers.
And it just
Yep.
is what it is. Yeah, you eat it like this, and and you hope that you get enough people to pay for it, your stuff in the back end, and it's gonna get people to want to buy that $400 version or whatever, just because hey, you get all of these great day one Sony games for free as long as you have the PlayStation Plus subscription or whatever. So they definitely can do it. We talked about it 100 times that they should have just made that move, but they wanted to be stubborn and they want to make this move. And so, you know what I mean? It's going to look inadequate when compared to how Game Pass's subscription services offered. The only thing that won't be inadequate is the type of products that are offered. It's a little bit more value on Sony's side. But
Totally.
you know what I mean? And that may only be because Bethesda has not produced a single damn thing since their acquisition. But
Yeah,
who knows?
exactly. And when Microsoft, I don't care like how much they acquire. Like you're right. Like they acquired Bethesda and they still haven't even really produced a game,
They haven't
basically
done
for them.
shit. They
It's been like
literally
2 years.
haven't done anything. PlayStation got the last two of their products that they were working on. So it's like
I
it's like
know.
what you know what I
And then
mean? Like,
what are you afraid of?
It didn't
I know.
matter.
What are you afraid of, man? Like it's so dumb. This whole argument, this whole debate over whether they should acquire, it's like so dumb. Like everything Microsoft has done hasn't really hasn't really hurt Sony except
Yeah.
for Game Pass. Now we do know that Game Pass is eventually, I think, could be the nail in the coffin for Sony if they don't adjust. And the last time they adjusted, when they did the tier system, that didn't add any value at all.
Yeah.
No value at all to PlayStation Plus. But if they adjust and they do something similar, then I can easily see them competing. But until then, they are going to lose that battle. But as far as like right now, today, them just acquiring a game company, like that's not what's going to sing. It's going to sing Sony is them not adjusting with the times, right?
Yeah.
And changing with the times, like you just mentioned, as Microsoft mentioned, they can still compete and adjust in the market.
Yeah.
This
They
is
have
not
plenty of
anywhere
time.
near now in the coffin.
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, even if they waited right until the full acquisition of Activision was approved and went through, they
Yep.
still have time to adjust. They still can wait until the next Activision Call of Duty game comes out and still adjust. Like that, they have time. They have tons of time. It's one game. It's until they start bombarding you with like productions from Obsidian, Bethesda, all of the other companies that they've purchased that have been quiet as shit. You know what I mean? Until they just
Mm-hmm.
flood the market with all those games, and those games are top tier. That's when Sony, will have to like, pivot like quick, or else it's gonna be trouble. But they got time, so
Oh
I mean,
yeah, dude. Like
they
there's
they
nothing.
can fix their stuff. They can figure out how to make that shit work
There's
and how
nothing
it's not.
scary at all about
Yeah,
Sony. I mean, yeah, it's just Sony playing. It's just Sony being a holes. Because of course you don't want your competition to get something that's awesome.
yeah,
Obviously,
yeah. It's the comp. It's
case
the
that
ops, man. You don't want
yeah,
the
but
ops to get nothing.
but you can't make the case that like it's gonna hurt your business. Like that's just
Yeah.
stupid.
I mean, you're gonna
Yeah.
try it. You're gonna try to do it, as much as possible. That's gonna be your argument and whatnot. And it's like a commendable attempt. But you
Sure, they
should have
got
really
to. They
came.
got to do
Yeah,
it.
yeah. But you should have just came with something a little bit more firmer or whatnot. You know what I mean? Like just a better attempt, because it's just not adequate enough. Now, hopefully, the core there or whatever see that it's not adequate enough and just make the thing go through. But if they don't, I mean, it is what it is. So I'm sure that Microsoft will take all that money that they were going to put into to Activision and purchase like freaking Ubisoft or EA or something like that. They'll buy something big as
They're
shit.
gonna buy
They'll
somebody.
buy something. They gonna get
Yeah,
something big.
they're gonna buy somebody
Yeah.
up. Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, if they do something and like are able to like own 2K or something like that, like where you got like 2K, all the 2Ks are gonna come out. Like if they're able to own like every sports game,
Oh, 2K.
like that
Yeah,
might
that's a big
be
one, right?
that might be a big deal, dude. That might be a real big deal. If you just guarantee every Madden, every 2K,
Madden and
all that shit is
2K.
coming out on freaking on Xbox Game Pass day one. People shitting bricks, man. Like those are staples, you would want to play those. So
Yeah, it's gonna bolster their Game Pass subscriptions.
yeah, that would definitely do it. I don't even know if COD's gonna do it, but that would definitely do it for sure. But
Definitely.
yeah, man. Moving on to the last topic, and let us know what you guys think in the comments down below in the chat. Just let us know if you guys think that uh they should just go ahead and pass that merger through, that acquisition, or if you think that Sony legit has reasons to worry about, and then state them, because we've already talked about it, and it just doesn't seem like
It
it's
has to be legitimate. Yeah, give
yeah.
us a legitimate,
Yeah, don't give
reason.
no BS that you just pulled out your wazoo. Give us like a legit reason as to why you think that it would just decimate Sony or
Yeah, we
whatnot.
can't do this like it's gonna hurt their market share. Dude, they're number one.
Yeah,
Everyone has to compete with you some way, So
yeah. They ain't got money like that. Definitely selling like that. But yeah.
now
So
for the
the
big news, huh?
yeah, the last topic we have, freaking Ring finally gets a DLC. It was leaked in a recent patch update. It's these PC fools, man. They be digging deep into them shits every time something unleashes, and they find
Dude,
all
the patches. I know, dude.
I
They dig
commend those
deep
guys
in the
though,
patch.
man, because they will sit there and study the hell out of some patch files with like a thorough,
Every little
like,
letter.
yeah, dude, they just finding stuff, man. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Let me see. Let's just say blah blah blah. Been plenty of winks towards a mythical Elden Ring DLC, but finally we have some actual evidence that's on the way. The new maps are M20 and M45. M20 has same numbering as Legacy Dungeons. M45 is brand new. Dynamic loading casting. And some dude, Magical Cheyenne, found it.
Magical Cheyenne.
Yeah.
That's funny, dude.
Yeah, man.
That's
So let's
hilarious,
see.
man.
It just released. It was the patch that they released in August. And this was in there. So it took them a few. In July, there was a ransomware leak of something called Barbarians of the Badlands as a rumored DLC, but no one was sure whether it was the real deal or not. Codes referencing M20 and M45 could refer to DLCs. Modders noted that M20 is the same code language as other Elden Ring Legacy dungeons. If that wasn't enough, there's a direct reference to DLC 01 in the file, MTD underscore DLC 01 being a big indicator. So this still leaves that open for.
Yeah, what I liked about it was that it mentioned the 2 maps, so that made me think there's gonna be 2 DLCs, man.
2 DLCs or 1, you know what I mean? Because like, if you think about like how all the areas are broken down, you know what I mean? You have like a section of the map, and then that legacy dungeon is like its whole little section in its own. It's big as shit. So
I don't know. I just want more DLCs, man. So
I just want more to play. Exactly. Like I want to be able to play, on my second playthrough. Yeah, going through my second playthrough or whatever, finishing it up, with the DLCs or whatnot, or starting, one and then just doing the DLC only.
Yeah, I hope they, do more than they did for Bloodborne. Bloodborne, all they had was 1 DLC, dude, just 1 DLC. So it's like, I just hope they do more than 1. So yeah, I want there to be a ton on the DLC. Like if there's like you mentioned, a whole legacy zone and a whole extra map, and that's like 1 DLC, like that's super exciting. But I just don't want it to be like that's it. Like that's all we're giving you is just 1 major DLC, and that's all you're gonna get. Like I want there to be like 2 or 3 DLCs.
Yeah, and I think in Elden and in Dark Souls fashion, there's been at least 3 DLCs. So hopefully it follows that, since it's essentially spiritual successor. You know what I mean? Hopefully it follows that train.
Yeah.
But they definitely said that they stated that in this article that it didn't look like anything was going on with the Colosseum, so there might not be any PvP.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a DLC for sure, right? Like
I would think so.
Why would you have that big Colosseum there, dude, guarding it?
Yeah, and then you do
nothing to do with it. Yeah.
Door, unless it's something secret that nobody has yet figured out how to open.
Dude, that'd be crazy.
Somebody would have. That would be nuts, right? If it was just so secret that people had attempted to open it, and then it's like 2 years later they finally open it, and they're like, "Oh, it's a whole new area. That's how you do it." But I don't know. Dude, I don't know what we're doing there. That wouldn't be a PvP area. I feel like it would have to be known that you could do something in there, right? Because you could just be the first guy go in there, and then you're just the proclaimed champion, and everybody who joins has to fight you. They gotta dethrone you. But yeah, man. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Also, I was gonna ask you, bro. Have you been looking at more of the random shit that drops out of the sky for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet?
No, I haven't been. Have you?
Yeah, man. It's just like I come across videos like every now and again, dude. But yeah, it's starting to it's just looking like it's gonna be one of those, gotta grabs types of things, those day one grabs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Only problem is my son's been on like a huge Mario kick, and so
ever since the trailer came out.
No, he was on Mario's head when I ended up getting Super Mario what was it? Mario Party or whatever. Super Mario Party.
Okay.
So when I got that, he loves Mario Party. So he just likes to play the board game and all the little mini competition, the mini games and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And he just started watching the shit on YouTube, watching like Mad Mario videos of just people playing Mario and loving that. And it was his birthday on Monday.
Oh, he was watching YouTubers play Mario?
Yeah, he's watching YouTubers play Mario.
Funny, dude.
And so it was his birthday on Monday, and his uncle got him he was like, "What you want? What do you want or whatever?" And I was like, "Oh, this guy probably doesn't know like what he wants or whatever." So I started listing some of the things he had, you know what I mean, to give him an idea of what he might want to get him or whatever for his birthday.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, well, should I get him a game or something like that? And I was like, well, let me look at the game if there's anything that he might want to play. Maybe he looks at the cover and is like, oh, I want that cover art or something like that. So I
Right.
pull up the games. I'm like, hey, sire, what do you see out here? What do you like? So I'm scrolling. He immediately stops. Mario Odyssey. I want Mario Odyssey. I've been wanting that for like for years or something like that. He said, he's like, I want to play with Cappy or whatever. And I was like, what are you talking about? So I looked at the thing and I was like, oh shit, that is the one where you throw the cap. I thought it was the older one that was like Mario Galaxy. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking it was Mario Galaxy, but I know that's in the 3D All-Stars or whatever. And so I was like, okay, so he got that, man. He been playing that shit every day. So I might not even have a Switch anymore. I might have to go get a new Switch so that I can play one of these
Dang.
games or something, man. Because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it from him to be able to play. Be like, hey, man, you gotta get off the Odyssey. I'm trying to play, Pokemon Violet for a little bit,
Yeah, because that comes out next month. Violet comes out next
Yeah,
month, dude.
yeah. So I got to figure it out, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't think he's getting bored with it anytime soon. And they're like legit playing it. You know what I mean? Like they haven't really asked me to like run through no levels. He understands how to throw the cap. Like he's figuring it out, man. My little dude about to be a gamer for sure.
Dude, he is. You got one, dude. You got a gamer on your hands, man.
My daughter be playing it too, low key. So it
Dang.
might be.
But
It might be
is he
all
more
three of
hooked though?
them.
Is he more
Huh?
hooked though? Is he like diligent? Does she have like a strong attention for it, or she kind of get bored quick?
Nah. So like it really just depends on the game, but like they love the hell out of that Ryan kid. So they've downloaded his run game, like the Ryan run game or whatever he has. Man, they was playing the hell out of that game, like
But you know
day
what
in
I
and
mean,
day.
though. Like it sounds like your boy's like really watching YouTube videos on video games. Like
Yeah,
he's really into it.
he knew exactly the game, what the game was just off the look. I mean, he could read a little bit, but he just looked at it. He knew exactly what it was off the rip. He told the name of the characters. He said he already know how to play it because he'd been watching it. So it's like nothing new to him.
Dude,
So
that's pretty
I
cool,
was
man.
like, damn, okay. Like when he told me about it, I was like,
Has he
oh,
been
okay.
watching it?
He really want to watch it, or he really wants to play
That's
it, or whatever.
funny, dude.
But I was thinking it
And he
was just
did,
like,
huh?
yeah, I was just thinking it was like,
Because
just a
Odyssey is a
fluke.
pretty tough game,
Yeah,
like for a 4 or 5 year old, right?
yeah, for a 5-year-old. I mean, so I was thinking like, oh, this is just like a fluke. Like he just like wants to jump around in that Mario world or something like that. But like the moment that shit finished downloading, he was on it. And he was running around, throwing his cap around. He was like navigating and shit. Like I think the only
He
thing
was
that I have to do, yeah, he was playing
that
it.
is so
But
funny, dude.
the only thing I think I have to do is I gotta find him like a mini pro controller if they have those. Because I
Oh,
remember that
smaller
they used
hands.
to have mini controllers, but yeah,
Yeah,
because they're smaller hands, I might need to find a mini pro controller for him to be able to sync it up with it so that he can play it, and deal with it that way. Because he doesn't really like to, his hands are smaller, so
yeah,
it's
for sure.
not very
They
comfortable
have them,
for him or
dude.
what.
Got a little Mad Cat. Remember the little
Yeah,
tiny Mad Cat controller? I don't
yeah.
remember that one back in the day.
Yeah, so
Jesus.
I gotta find one that's like wireless or something like that I could get for him. But yeah, man. So I just thought it was funny. And my daughter was playing right with him, you know what I mean? Trying to figure out the puzzles and stuff like that and navigate and stuff. So it's just funny seeing him play some of these games and stuff, man.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, man. So that's all we got this week for the topics and whatnot. A couple of things going on. So I'm looking forward to seeing if there's anything new that pops up, with the acquisition, see if they pass it or not. We definitely got Scorn, which dropped today on Game Pass. So, if you're gonna play something,
Play
check that
that.
out, give it a
Yep.
whirl. I mean, that shit we saw that like almost 3-4 years ago. So it's been a
Dude,
long
many
time coming.
years. Yeah.
It's been a long time coming.
Dude, I
To
hope it's
see
good,
that.
bro.
Yeah, man.
Hope
So
it's good, man.
yeah, got some things to play, and we gotta get a game and a rocket in, man. Like I'm play. If you tell me when you want to play it, I'll get on and play it with you.
But I gotta do the dumb. I told you I gotta do the dumb tutorial.
You can get on and I'll talk you through it. Like it's literally like a minute. It's easy.
You're such a dummy.
It's easy. You just get on it, you do the shit, and then you move on. So you can actually get to the game, man. You gotta quit BSing, bro. You gotta play the game. It's the reason why I like it. It's all melee. It's not much. It's got some range, but the range ain't even where it's at. It's all melee. You know what I mean? So that's why I like it a little bit more than I do. Well, I like it a lot more than I would do like a COD or anything else like that. You know, Fortnite or whatever.
Right. There's no really aiming.
Yeah. It's the aiming isn't required. I mean,
like a Twitch shooter.
Yeah. You'll get
perfect accuracy.
Right. You'll get people that'll shoot at you and stuff like that, but that's not where it's at. Where it's at is that melee. So if they dodge a few, streams of bullets and then run up on you.
You know what I was thinking about playing actually was that Chivalry 2.
Chivalry 2. Is that the fighting game?
Yeah, it's like the medieval. I think it's like a World of Tanks or like a Battlefield. But like
it's just like a big war going on, and you just jump in and you just start attacking.
Yeah, I wanted to try that one out and see what that's about. Yeah, so I'll give that a shot.
I think
because everyone seems to really like that game.
Yeah, I think one of my cousins played that game quite a bit. Like she had bought it like a while ago, and she was playing it like before it even came to Game Pass and stuff like that. But yeah, man. So few things we got to try out, but we definitely got to get some Naraka in, man. I'm gonna bug your ass about it until you freaking play something with me finally.
Someday, man. Someday.
Yeah. Someday. All right, man. Looks like the unpacked is a pretty chill game to play.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Like you just kind of like it's like kind of exciting to see what you're gonna get out of the box next. You gotta like find a spot for it. It's pretty cool,
man. Yeah, so I'm about to see what's going on with the family if they want to do anything, or I might try to hop on the Naraka for a couple more hours and see if I can get some more time, man. I'm still trying to climb them ranks, man. I'm like top 12% of the character that I use in the Hall of Fame rankings. So I got to get at least to 100. I got to get to the top 100 so I can get my little badge. And then I gotta keep playing so I can keep it. But you literally have to play the shit out of games. Like you have to play constantly in order to get that character score up. But all right, man. Appreciate everybody for joining us. This is gonna drop on YouTube
Monday morning.
Monday. And I'm gonna make sure that I
episode
McGiggins. Put it up there.
We don't even know an episode anymore, dude.
I stopped labeling them. This is probably like one
McGiggins episode, man.
Something like that. Yeah. But all right, man. Thanks everybody for watching, joining. If you haven't yet, hit us with like a follow. I don't think on Twitch. I don't think you could throw us no subs yet because we ain't popping like that. But eventually we'll get there. But until next week, we catch y'all later. Deuces.
Peace.